In 6.2.35-T, meaning use technology, it says use the standard normal, so either the Z distribution or the T distribution. Okay, well, which one do we have to use? That's really the question. And it says construct a 99% confidence interval for the population mean. So C is 0.99, because that's 99 written as a decimal, and I'm looking for the population mean, which is mu. Then it says justify your decision. If neither distribution can be used, explain why. Interpret the results in a sample. Okay, here's everything about my sample. The sample is 40 people. The mean body mass index, and it says in a random sample of 40 people, the mean, so this must be the mean for this sample. The mean body mass index, BMI, was 28.4, and the standard deviation, so it's got to be the sample standard deviation, is 6.03. So this must be the T distribution, because the population standard deviation is unknown. And that's what tells me if the population standard deviation is known, it's the Z distribution. So notice, use a T distribution because the sample is random, good, n is greater than or equal to 30, and the population standard deviation is unknown. Let's compare the wording of this question with a different wording where you would choose Z instead of T. So let's compare this with the wording in example 4 from 6.2. So this is example 4 from chapter 6.2. You randomly select 25 newly constructed houses. Okay, so N is 25. And the sample mean construction cost is $181,000. And the population standard deviation is 28,000. So it says the words in there, blah, 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 blah. But now it says, should you use the standard normal or the Z distribution? Because this is known. The population standard deviation is known. So you would use the Z distribution in this case and not the T distribution. So we have determined that we need to use the T distribution, and now we need to find the 99% confidence interval. So let's grab our calculator, and that is stat. I'm going to go over to tests, and I want to come down here to 8. So I could just press the number 8, right? Not the Z interval, but the T interval, number 8. And I want to make sure it's in stat, and the sample BMI was 28.4, and the sample standard deviation is 6.03. There was 40 people in the sample, so 40, and the confidence interval is 0.99. So now I need to come down and have the calculator calculate. And I'm feeling good because that's the correct sample mean, and that's the correct sample standard deviation, and that's the correct number in the sample. So let me move this over here. So it says round to 2 decimal places. So if I'm going to write down my confidence interval to 2 decimal places, it's 25.82 is the low end, and 30.98 at the high end. Now finally we want to interpret the results. So with 99% confidence, it can be said the population mean, BMI, is between the bounds of the confidence interval. So that means that the lowest I would expect, I've got 99% confidence that 25.82 is the lowest for the population BMI, and the highest I would expect for the population BMI is 98. So I've got a 99% confidence that the real population mean is between this low end and this high end.